Hello, my name is Daniel Pierce, and I would like to give you a brief introduction to strength-based leadership. Now, when we think about being strong, one of the first things that comes to my mind is Rocky Balboa, right? Going in one more round when you don't think you can. That's what makes all the difference in your life. Or every champion was once a contender who refused to give up. Rocky is the story of the epitome of the American dream, right? He was a nobody who became a somebody, and he did it all by persevering and working hard. And he took himself from being a mediocre boxer to being a mediocre boxer who was just really good at being persistent and not getting knocked down. I think the irony of the movie is that he doesn't even win in the end, but I think that gets us to the point of what I want to talk about here. So what is strengths-based leadership not? It's not focused on fixing problems first. It's not focused on a worker's shortcomings, right? So that doesn't fit with our traditional management approach, right? That's not what this is about, right? We're not working on building up people. We're not developing their weaknesses. We're not looking and saying, oh, what are you not good at? Let's go get you some training so you can be better at it. And strengths-based leadership, it's not a soft skill. It's not a luxury. It's not compatible with the traditional approach of the American dream. We are not walking into this like Rocky. We are taking the strengths that we already have. Which leads us to this quote from Tom Rath. You cannot be anything you want to be, but you can be a whole lot more of who you already are. And that's a controversial statement sometimes. But let's talk about what strengths-based leadership is. It's focused on personal strengths and talents. Everybody's got stuff that they're good at, right? And when you focus on the things you're good at in the workplace, that builds on the psychologically safe environment. It's more engaging, it's more satisfying, right? It doesn't focus on heroics. It doesn't emphasize self-sacrifice. It doesn't reward excellence with apathy. And what do I mean by all of that? When we look at the school environment, for example, right? The student is oftentimes finds themselves focused on that grade that they didn't do well at. I wasn't great at Spanish. I beat myself up an awful lot at that. I was fantastic at math, physics, even chemistry. But where did I worry about? Worry about my Spanish. Self-sacrifice, right? This is the idea that, like Rocky, we're going to push and push and push and push and give up all of our personal time to be mediocre. That's something we weren't all that great at to begin with. So how do we benefit? This is the real meat of strengths-based leadership. You're going to see increased engagement to 7 times, improved performance. Your employees are going to perform up to 3 times better. You're going to get better job satisfaction 7 times. You're going to see increased sales 10 to 19%, and increased profits because your workers are going to work harder for you. Your turnover rates are going to go down from anywhere from 6 to 72 points. And why such a big swing? Because not every business has a high turnover rate, but those that do are going to see a big difference. And safety incidents are going to go down. What happens when you put the worker who's not that good at driving the truck out on the shop floor? He's going to run into things. That's not his strength. That's not where he belongs, right? This is the idea that if you put employees where they belong, everything gets better. Now, you're probably asking yourself, okay, I like it. You've told me all the great benefits. I want to see this in my business. And if you're listening to this, then absolutely, that's what you want, right? So how do we get there? Make leadership, your leadership needs to make it a priority. It starts with you. Strengths-based leadership needs to be the priority. And then you need to train your managers, because the managers are the ones that are going to make it real. This probably starts with a company-wide campaign. Everybody needs to know what you're doing. You can't do it in secret. You can't just train your managers and say, go out there and focus on strengths. Everybody needs to know what you're doing. Then you need to incorporate that into decision making when you're creating your teams. You need to get the guy who's good at ideas. You need to get the guy that's good at execution. You need to get the person who's really, really good at writing everything down. And you need to get the one who goes out there and wins it for the team, right? If you don't have the correct group of people together, you're not going to be successful. Last but not least, you need to make your performance reviews focused on development, recognition of strengths. That's how you get that employee feeling of psychological safety. So now you're asking yourself, what can I do? Where can I read more about this? StrengthsFinders.com is a great place to start. Michelle McQuaid has a whole bunch of information about strengths-based leadership. Gallup, they're the ones that published the Strengths Finder, and there you can find an assessment. And then leaders.com has some great articles on strengths-based leadership. And if you want to go a step further, you can take a look at these references that I used to build this presentation. All in all, you will surely find that there is a lot you can gain from a strengths-based leadership approach.